Nigeria records drop in gross domestic product, just as POS transactions increase to more than 177,000 in 4 months. Oil prices rise Monday after OPEC meeting. Plus, CBN Monetary Policy Committee meets for the first time since reappointment of Emefiele. The program is Business Express, reaching you from the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Amina Nujaim. Welcome to the program. Nigeria's gross domestic product GDP has grown by 2.01% in the first quarter of 2019. This is according to figures released by the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS). The slow growth is recorded in the first quarter after the oil sector contracted. GDP growth in oil sector was 2.40% in the first quarter of 2019, indicating a decrease of minus 16.43 percentage points relative to the rate recorded in the same quarter of 2018. Now, this shows a growth decrease of minus 0.79 percentage points when compared to fourth quarter 2018, which was 1.62%. The mining and quarry sector grew by minus 2.31% in the first quarter of 2019. Also, the agricultural sector grew by 3.17% in the first quarter of 2019, an increase of 0.17 percentage points compared to the corresponding quarter of 2018. Aggregate GDP stood at 31.794 million naira in nominal terms. The NBS believes that the 2019 general elections have affected the economy's performance. Nigeria recorded 117,131 transactions on point-of-sales terminals from January to April, as indicated in a report from the Nigerian Interbank Settlement System. The report showed an increase of 42,817 when compared to the 74,314 transactions that were recorded in the corresponding period of 2018. The report also showed that 902,978 terminals were deployed in the same period, an indication that about 231,441 terminals had been issued by the Nigerian banks in the first 4 months of the year. This figure is more than 671,537 that was recorded in the same period of 2018. Following the presentation of the draft national policy document on palm oil value chain in Nigeria, we have Igwe Hilary. He is the National President, Palm Oil Growers Association of Nigeria, who joins us to talk about the policy and how it seeks to increase oil palm production in the country. Welcome to Business Express.
Thank you very much.
Now, Nigeria used to be one of the highest producers of palm oil, and it was even exported to Malaysia.
Yes.
Now Nigeria is looking back at Malaysia. What happened?
Yes, really. Immediately, a little after that, there was oil boom, the crude oil boom.
Okay.
And that diverted the attention of the Nigerians and the government. They lose their attention in cultivation of oil palm because the raw cash was coming up. And that has almost killed the industry. So that mayor leaving the oil palm project made the country all over to start dwindling. And then when the oil boom was almost subsided, the problem came up.
Okay, now that there's a new draft policy, what is different from other policies that have already been introduced around these products. This particular policy, what's different about it?
See, the difference about it is our government. They put up policy. They don't follow it up. Just telling you as an insider.
Okay. So this new policy,
they don't follow
what's
it up.
in it?
The point now is that whatever policy they are trying to make or they are making, if they can be honest and follow it up, farmers are ready. Many of the oil palm farmers have land on their own even.
Okay.
But they don't support them like every other commodity. They support rice farmers. They support cocoa farmers. They support other commodities. I don't know what is wrong with their oil palm. So as I'm talking to you, I'm talking the amount of 24 states in this country. Depending how many states.
Okay. So what do you think government should do? What incentives do you think would encourage palm oil production? You're talking about 24 states now.
Yes.
What needs to be done?
What needs to be done is Nigerians, federal government of Nigeria, maybe through central bank, what they are planning now, what they are doing now, if they can be consistent and follow it up. They want to empower oil palm farmers who have already projects. They have oil palm plantations.
Empower them how?
They want to give them loan, supply all they need like mechanical harvesting, processing machines, and other equipment that can boost the production of oil palm. If they can do that, I'm just betting you, in the next 2-3 years, Nigeria will start exporting palm oil.
Okay, you're talking about exporting in terms of estimate of value. How much are we talking about?
Or the amount they can need.
Yes.
No, you see, before you get such table, you go into your drawing board and pick the production stages step by step before you can come up to that amount. I cannot say it now. Even if I say 5 billion or 10 billion,
okay,
it might go a long way to get it right. Nigeria has the money.
Okay.
They have 10 billion. If they can spend 5 billion in oil palm, I tell you that Nigeria will be okay. There will be no more secession. This struggle of everywhere talking this man, everybody hate each other. Okay. It's just because of this lack of job.
Okay.
Oil palm production, oil palm industry can create jobs that will cover 80% of these jobless people.
Okay, now talking about creating jobs, where do you see the jobs? Is it in the planting? Is it in the processing?
From the planting process, even from the nursery area.
Okay.
Nursery operators, if you put it wide, nursery operators can even recruit all these jobless graduates who are looking for what they will do.
Okay.
Pick them up. They'll do the nursery. What is nursery? Pushing sand into a polythene bag, put the sprouted nuts, which NIFO can supply 20 million in the next 6 months.
Okay.
NIFO in Nigeria. If that sponsor them very well, if you don't even know that the federal government is owing NIFO some money.
Okay.
Why?
Okay, now we've talked about what government can do, and you've mentioned the value chain in palm oil production. Now, if I'm supposed to ask you, what can the private sector do for you, what would it be?
Private sector you are talking about means the smallholders farmers and the middle class farmers and the large scale farmers. They are ready to collect and make use of government provisions and go into palm oil and get what we need in this country. Let me tell you, oil palm industry is even higher than crude oil production.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, I don't know why. Even sometimes I'll start to reason, why are they becoming docile to supporting of oil palm? It's just like somebody you ask to pray, that if you pray yourself out. He refuses to pray. Okay. That's the way I look at it.
Okay.
Thank you
for joining us on the program today. It was a very interesting conversation.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you.
Yes.
The federal government is to build an agro-allied cargo terminal at the Benin airport to boost economic activities in the state. The Minister of State for Aviation, Hadi Sarika, disclosed this while inaugurating the newly installed night landing facility to enable the airport commence night operations. Goodluck Enaina reports.
Before now, the Benin airport closes flight operations at 6 p.m. daily due to the absence of night landing facilities. It is in a bid to change the narratives that the federal government has provided the facilities to make the airport world-class. Minister of State for Aviation, Hadi Sarika, who also announced the readiness of the federal government to build an agro-allied cargo at the airport, wants the state government to leverage on the NIMET facilities at University of Benin.
And in addition to this one that you have seen, which is the ground-based equipment, we have also satellite-based equipment that we put for Benin in such a way that even if this one fails, the one in the satellite will now work.
Governor Godwin Obaseki describes the development as in tandem with the state government's aspirations to develop the state.
With this air transportation infrastructure, it will just complement a lot of the other efforts that we are making currently in the area of agriculture, in the area of industrialization, in the area of tourism and culture, and even education.
MTN Nigeria last week Thursday fulfilled its earlier promise as it listed its shares on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. MTN Nigeria by this action has joined 7 companies already listed on the premium board of the NSE. We have in the studio Mr. Kolawole Oyedeku of DSU Brokerage Services to discuss activities of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Now, looking at activities last week, very interesting outing on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. How would you review last week?
Well, I think last week is a very interesting week as far as the equity market is concerned. Because if you recall that the past 3 weeks since, I think, April 26th, every week for the past 3 weeks preceding May 17th, the Osha index has been closing in the red, negative, almost every day. But the moment the game changer, the new bride, came into the market, the negative trend was reversed. Actually, the market would have closed even at, we could have closed more in the red territory, if not for the listing of the market. Because I think on Wednesday preceded the listing, because I think the stock was listed on Thursday 16th. By that Wednesday, the year-to-date loss was almost 9%. But as soon as the MTN came to the market reversed the negative trend. And I think up to Friday last week, the year-to-date loss was about 8.14%. In fact, that week alone, the market closed 0.08% because of the listing of the MTN. And it's interesting to know that even though the stock was listed at 90 naira, it traded all through that day at 99 naira. The following day, it gained 10%. And today, again, it also gained 10%. I think about 51 million units were sold today. But the problem is that even though 20 billion, 345 million units were sold or listed by introduction, the problem there still remains that the public are not getting the shares.
Why are they not getting the shares?
Although the listing rules say that about 20% should be in the public float, but I think those people that have those shares are not selling it because it's not public offer or IPO where everybody will be, where they will offer to the market. I think for what they are doing now, they are just crossing to those people that had it before when it was dollar denominated. But the fact still remains that people are not happy because they believe that if they want to cross to the existing shareholders, they should do it through the CSCS or cross it at a particular price, not that they will be moving it every day by 10% and the public is not getting it. So brokers are not happy.
Okay. Now, with the markets closing today in a positive territory, do you see the same behavior repeating itself this week from last week? Or, as you put it, the new bride? Is it a game changer for this week?
Of course, the game changer. I still believe that the market will still continue to move on until some people are speculating that it can get to, well, it's not confirmed, maybe about 150 or thereabouts.
Okay.
Before it can become available. Because I think, was it Friday, about 16 million was crossed off market at 125 naira.
Okay.
When it was even trading at 119 naira in the market.
Okay.
So you should expect that it will cross 125 before it becomes available.
Okay. For today's NSE numbers, trading on the floor of the exchange closed positive to begin the week on Monday. The NSE O-share index gained 1.74% to close at 29,373.40 basis point, and capitalization went up to the 12 trillion naira mark. We had 214.4 million shares exchanging hands in 4,644 deals that was valued at 7.932 billion naira. The top trades were led by MTN Nigeria, as you said, the bride of the day, and FBNH and UBA. Now, with these numbers, what would your take be?
I still believe that it's still going to be the market leader towards the end of the week until it crosses 150, which people are speculating. But some people may feel that they will not bid because they don't get it.
Okay.
But whether you as a broker, because so many people have about 50 million, 30 million or thereabouts of stockbroking houses that got money from the clients to get.
Okay.
But they are not getting. So what's the essence of supporting the bids when they are not going to get?
Okay.
So maybe until that mark is met, it will still continue to be the market leader and the O-share index will close positive. You know, it has always been Dangote Cement. But now, even if Dangote Cement loses, with the 10% gain in MTN, the market will still show a positive sign.
So the keyword there is keep an eye on things.
Exactly.
Okay. We have been talking to Kolawole Oyedekun of DSU Brokerage Services. Thank you for joining us on the program today.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
For a look at the stock market for the week ended Friday, 17th May, Bosede Abel is with details.
The NSE All-Share Index and market capitalization for week ended 17th May 2019 appreciated by 0.08% and 17.29% to close the week at 28,871.93 and 12.7 trillion naira, a total turnover of 1.1 billion shares worth 17.8 billion naira in 18,380 deals were traded by investors. All other indices finished lower, with the exception of the NSE All-Share Index and NSE Premium Index that appreciated by 0.08% and 3.60%, while the ASEN Index closed flat. The financial services industry led the activity chart with 680.5 million shares valued at 7.3 billion naira traded in 11,035 deals. The conglomerate industry followed with 266.6 million shares worth 818.2 million naira in 1,152 deals. The third place was ICT industry with a turnover of 82.3 million shares worth 6.85 billion naira in 346 deals. Trading in the top three equities, Transnational Corporation of Nigeria PLC, Access Bank Nigeria PLC and Guarantee Trust Bank PLC accounted for 421.64 million shares worth 4.6 billion naira in 3,073 deals. A total of 18,181 units of exchange traded products ETPs valued at 215,365.64 were traded in 4 deals. Also traded were a total of 10,366 units of federal government bonds valued at 9,783 million naira in 9 deals. 16 equities appreciated in price during the week, 42 equities depreciated in price, while 109 equities remained unchanged.
And now to global stocks as European markets edge lower amid earnings. Let's take a look.
The tension between Washington and China has continued to endanger investment and growth on the global markets, as most markets opened trade mostly negative. European market traded lower Monday 20th May as investors digested geopolitical developments and corporate earnings. Stocks in Asia were mixed amid series of geopolitical developments across the region. Nikkei topped 0.24% to close at 21,301.73, while Shanghai Composite and the Hang Seng Index were negative. In the United States, stocks were slightly lower as concerns about an intensifying fallout from a U.S. end on Hawaii weighed on market sentiment. Dow futures indicated a drop of more than 60 points at the open, while the S&P 500 and Nasdaq Composite were both lower as well. African stocks were mostly negative. South Africa's JSE Top 40, Nairobi All-Share and Tunisia's Tunidex were seen lower in early trading. Namibia overall index started slightly positive with less than 1%, while Ghana's GSE Composite was unchanged.
Oil prices moved higher on Monday after a meeting of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries OPEC signaled the cartel wants to extend production cuts through the end of 2019. Still talking commodity, price of 50 kilograms of tomatoes increases by 70%. How are other commodities faring on the global market? Let's take a look at the exchange rate of the naira. With that, we come to the end of this edition of Business Express. You can access all previous episodes on YouTube, and you can also communicate with us on Twitter, and the handle is NTA News Now. Thank you for being a part of the program. Let's see you on Wednesday. Bye for now.